What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Superpower Review, the show that brings you news and reviews on comic book related things. As we all know, on Monday, the new Godzilla King of Monsters trailer came out. I did not get to do a review on it because I was down with the cold, a very nasty cold that I finally just sort of getting rid of. So I wanted to talk about it, but I couldn't because I was sick. So I figured, why don't I make up for it and do a review on one of my favorite Godzilla figures and just bring it to work and do a review on it. So, but before we get to the figure, I do want to talk about the Godzilla trailer for a second because that trailer was amazing. I'm very excited for this movie, and I think this could potentially be the best Godzilla movie made to date. I'm really excited to see King Ghidorah on the silver screen, Rodan, Mothra, and maybe even a few other monsters or kaiju that we haven't seen in a little bit. So I'm really excited for this movie to come out in May of 2019. And so let's start off with the figure now, the main reason of the show. So this is a mouthful, okay? Today we are going to be doing a review on one of my favorite Godzilla figures I have in my collection. This is the X-Plus Godzilla 30cm figure made by, well, not made by, but modeled by Yuji Sakai. Before we get into the figure, let's look at the box, shall we? I don't know why you guys love boxes so much, but you guys love looking at boxes, so let's look at the box. This box is pretty cool, actually. So I was looking for one of these for quite a while. There's many of these Godzilla figures, these 30cm Godzilla figures, and this is the one I went with. So the box shows two really detailed photos of the figure, a really cool close-up one here, and pretty much a full body shot on the other side. It doesn't look awesome. This comes from the Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah movie from 1991. And as you can see here, switch it up here. As you can see here, this is the logo here from that movie, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. And then on this side, it says Godzilla from 1991. That's when that movie came out. Figures modeled by Yuji Sakai. Or if you really go by the Japanese surname is supposed to go first, so it's pretty much Sakai Yuji. And this is made by xplustoys. So really cool box. I'm not a huge box collector. I don't really save my boxes for a lot of things, but this one I made an exception for, plus because this figure is pretty pricey. And I just really thought the box was really cool, so I decided to keep it. You don't get anything on the back besides a label saying, like, you know, don't put anything in your mouth because you might choke on it. I don't see why you would do that. But pretty cool box. I decided to keep it. And yeah, pretty nifty. So let's get with the figure now. All right, so on the box, it is advertised as 30 centimeters, which is a little bit shy of 12 inches, okay? Now, when you actually really bust out a ruler on this thing, it's just shy of 30 centimeters. I think it's like 3-4 centimeters shy of it. But it's a perfect size in my opinion. So it's 30 centimeters tall, or roughly 12 inches tall, and width it's about 18 inches from head to tail. That tail is pretty massive. It's pretty long, as it should be. So, as I said in the beginning, this is modeled after Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah from the 1991 Toho movie. Not my favorite Godzilla movie, but it's definitely up there. But it is my favorite Godzilla out of the whole Heisei era. And Heisei era is like from 1990 to mid-90s. This is what I grew up on, this Godzilla. This was my favorite Godzilla. Always will be my favorite Godzilla. If we look at Godzilla, he's got a nice paint application. I've never seen such a clean figure painted like this. And it's just sculpted amazing. Yuji Sakai is a awesome sculptor. If you're not familiar with his work, I highly suggest that you check out more of his work because it's amazing. And it makes me wonder, what would Yuji Sakai's work look like if he worked at Sideshow? That would be pretty cool. I can't imagine sculpting all these scales on this figure. This figure is really top notch when it comes to sculpting, painting. It literally looks like if I could grab Godzilla from the screen of the movie and put him on my table, this is exactly what it looks like. It looks identical to the movie, and it is a superb sculpt. The reason why I picked this one out of the others, because I said that there are multiple of these, and I think there's at least 2 other Godzilla figures from 1990 era, the Heisei era. And the reason why I went with this one, as you can see, is that he looks freaking mean. Look at this brow. Like, look how mean this brow is. And I love how the shadow casts over and you can like really not see his eyes unless I turned it. Even then, you can't even really see his eye, but he has like a nice brown gloss to his eye, but I just love how freaking mean he looks. He doesn't have his mouth open. Some of them have his mouth open. And you know what? I just kind of went with this closed one. He looks mean. I love the pose he's in. He's just walking through, maybe walking through Tokyo and just ready to mess stuff up. I don't know. I mean, or he's just getting ready to fight King Ghidorah. Another reason why I love this Godzilla suit is because of the big breastplate he has, or the nice muscular chest that he has. I really like this one for that movie as well. He just looked more muscular in this movie, and I did kind of like that. Even if you look at his shoulders, he's got nice big round shoulders. Nice big arms. So I thought it was nice to see other besides, really short-armed Godzilla, and he was starting to look really skinny. Obviously, nice big thighs for a Godzilla, which is really cool. And now that we're looking at his claws, let's get a nice close-up of these claws. And this is another reason why I love this statue, because this figure, because the paint apps are so cool. This is a perfect claw tone. It kind of gradually goes from dark to lighter. Nice bone toned claws. I really like that. Even on his feet, if you can get his feet real quick. Same thing with his feet. It goes from dark to light. Now, I know that there's another version of this, a variation of the same figure where the claws look a little more yellow, and I don't really like that. I like the darker tones, more brown, more grayish. Looks really cool to me. And if we look at his back, these dorsal fins, again, perfect. The way how this figure is sculpted, it looks identical to the movie. Look at these dorsal fins. Awesome, perfect sculpt, really nice, so detailed. I really, really love this figure. Out of all the figures that I have in my collection, this is the one that I stare at the most. This is one of my favorite figures that I have in my collection. Look at that nice long tail. So cool, right? This figure that I should mention is made out of vinyl. It's really light. It's not heavy. And then one thing I kind of don't like here is this little this tail stand. If you don't have the tail stand, if you use it, he kind of leans over, and then he's not flush with his feet to the table. So you do need the little tail stand. Other people who collect these figures found a different way to do it. You can check out their YouTube channels. I don't remember how they do it, but so yeah, definitely a recommended piece. The one thing that I do not like, okay, so here's a fun story for you guys and girls. When I bought this figure, okay, there is some assembling acquired, okay? So obviously, you know, when you get him out of the box, you have Godzilla's body, and his tail comes in two separate pieces, right? Yeah, two separate pieces, okay? There's directions in the box on how to put his figure together. Now, what you're gonna do, or what the instructions tell you to do, is since this is a very thick, hard vinyl, they want you to take a hair dryer, okay, and heaten up the ends, okay? Or they also tell you that you can boil a pot of water, take the end, put it in the water to soften up the material so you can join it. This operation was nerve-wracking because, as it says in the instructions, please be careful. There's a potential risk of breaking, cracking, or chipping the paint of your figure. This took me about maybe 20 minutes to get right, okay? And I was just like trying to put the tail together. I'm like, oh my God, don't break, don't break, don't break. This was nerve-wracking. I did not like that part. And I don't know, I would just say try to be as calm as possible, but that was not my favorite part about buying this figure, was putting the tail together. That was definitely very, very nerve-wracking. I have no complaints when it comes to this figure. I think this figure is close to being perfect. Again, this is one of my favorite pieces in my collection. This is the one that I look at the most. It's 100% accurate from movie to figure. I mean, just look how crazy this sculpting is. I mean, absolutely beautiful figure. So if I had to sum up this review right now, this is a highly, highly, highly recommended piece if you're a huge Godzilla fan like I am. I've been in love with Godzilla ever since I was a kid, and this is the perfect Godzilla figure to have in your collection if you're a fan like I am. I mean, you can't go wrong with this Heisei era Godzilla figure. It looks 100% accurate. It's clean sculpt, clean paint application. If I were have to give this a CGC grade, this is going to sound crazy to you. I think this is going to be the highest grading review I have ever given, but I have to give this figure a 9.9. Again, this is one of my favorite figures I have. I absolutely love looking at this thing all the time. And another thing that's pretty cool too that I didn't mention about the tail, when you do put the tail together, it is seamless. It's almost hard to really tell where the tail ends and begins with each section. It's pretty hard to tell. I don't think you can tell from there. Obviously you can see this one, but other than that, the other two pieces, I don't really think you could even really see. That's how flawless they make this, this figure. Now, I have been seeing this figure jump up in price. I've seen this on eBay for $500 once, a couple of times actually. Did I pay $500 for this figure? Absolutely not. You are crazy if you think I'm going to pay that much. But you can find this at your local toy store or online for about $180 to $200. But it's worth it if you are a huge Godzilla fan like I am. It is completely worth it. I mean, look at that. Look how mean, evil that is. Just like a Godzilla should be. Ready to wreck up Tokyo, ready to blow off King Ghidorah's head off. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. If you would like to tell me what you think about this Godzilla figure, please let me know. Let's start a conversation. You can also tell me, humor me by telling me what your favorite Godzilla movie is. You can, put your comment in the comment section below, or you can email the show at superpowerreview9@gmail.com. Hey, and if you like this review, make sure you give it a like, because a little love goes a long way, and you can also share it with all of your other geeky, nerdy friends and see what we're all about as well. Make sure you click on the subscribe button. Click on the little bell so you can get notified when new shows are up. There are definitely going to be a lot more shows coming, because I definitely have a lot of shows in mind. We'll be recording a show on Monday about the new Batman Who Laughs #1 that came out recently this week on Wednesday. I'll be in studio with my friend Jake Barnell, and we'll give you a review on that. So make sure you subscribe, like, watch some more shows if you have some free time, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys really soon.